Hi everybody. I want to talk today about extraterrestrials. Very fascinating subject. Extraterrestrials. Now here is a question. Is there intelligent life? Now notice I say intelligent life because does anyone really care if there's bacteria or little tiny simple life forms such as bacteria in the universe? Not really, it's a bit boring. Is there intelligent life elsewhere in the universe? And my answer to that is yes. Is it a fact? Not really, but it is logic, and I'll tell you why. I wonder if you've heard of the Drake equation. If you have, you'll know what I'm about to talk about. If you haven't, check this out. It's very interesting. The Drake equation, it was done by a guy called Frank Drake. Now, it's accepted in all the scientific communities today, and it's an equation. N equals, and I'll explain this in a moment, R, and also it's in the description as well below. N equals R multiplied by Fp multiplied by Ne multiplied by Fl multiplied by Fi multiplied by Fc equals L. Now, N is the number of communicative civilizations. R, the rate of formation of suitable stars such as our Sun. Fp equals the fraction of those stars with planets, and current evidence indicates that planetary systems may be common for stars like our Sun. Ne equals the number of Earth-like worlds per planetary systems. Fl is the fraction of those Earth-like planets where life actually develops. Fi is the fraction of life sites where intelligence develops. Fc is the fraction of communicative planets, those on which electromagnetic communications technology develops. And L is the lifetime of communicating civilizations. Now, Frank Drake's own current solution to the Drake equation estimates 10,000 communicative civilizations in the Milky Way. And Dr. Drake, who serves on the SETI's League's advisory board, has personally endorsed SETI's planned all-sky survey. Now, my own interpretation on this is as follows. Very simple, but it's in layman's terms. Look at our own solar system. It comprises of, I'm going to say 9 planets. I know that Pluto was demoted because it was too small, so effectively we now have 8 planets. But then they've discovered another planet, Tyche, out in the Oort cloud, which is in our solar system. So we'll say 9 planets. At the time that Frank Drake made this equation, Pluto was considered a planet, so we're going to say 9 planets. Now, of the 9 planets, 1 planet, i.e. Earth, has intelligent life. Well, that's a bit debatable, intelligent life, but there you go. So Earth has intelligent life, so that is 1 in 9. 1 in 9 planets. But that's for our solar system. Now the question is, of the other solar systems in the Milky Way galaxy, and remember we're just talking about the Milky Way galaxy. The Milky Way galaxy isn't the only galaxy in the universe. Okay, but we're just talking about the Milky Way. Within the Milky Way, there are obviously lots of suns. Now, as far as suns go, our sun is an average sun. There are suns that are far larger. There are suns that are smaller. We're about average. But the question is that of all the suns in the Milky Way, how many of them has a planet in the habitable zone, or the Goldilocks zone, meaning it's not too hot, it's not too cold, but just right for life to develop. We need suns that are just right and compatible with a planet that is the right distance in order for hydrogen and oxygen to be present, and for the various things needed for life to develop and to thrive to be there. And then we need not only that, but we need enough time to pass for life to develop to a point that it becomes intelligent. Okay, now I'm harping too much on this because this isn't the issue. As far as I'm concerned, it's not a case of does life exist elsewhere in the universe, because it is logical that it does. It is absolutely logical it does. And do you know something? I honestly don't believe that there are very many people out there that do not believe that life exists, i.e. intelligent life exists in the universe. I believe that any reasonable person believes that it does. So what is the big deal? What is the question? What's the million-dollar question? It's this, right? Have they, i.e. the extraterrestrials, when I say they, I'm talking about the extraterrestrials, have they been here? Can they get here? And will they come here? Okay, have we been visited? Or will we be visited? That is a question that requires some debate. Okay? Now, arguments against the fact that extraterrestrials can get here is as follows. People that believe that they do not come here, it's for reasons such as, well, our nearest sun, besides our own sun, is X distance away, so many light years, and therefore if they hopped into a spaceship and travelled at 99.9% the speed of light, because the speed of light is the universal speed limit, nothing can exceed the speed of light, so if they went 99.9% the speed of light, which is really clever, if they managed to do that, it would take X number of years for them to reach the Earth. And what, do they live for thousands of years or hundreds of years? Well, that seems unlikely. I mean, we live for like 70 or 80 years and then we're dead. I mean, surely they're not going to sit in a spaceship for like hundreds or thousands of years and die of old age. You know, they follow that train of logic, okay? Because it's all based on our current understanding of the way things go, and the laws of physics. Okay, now this is what I want to put to you. Yes, if we were to address this subject based on our understanding of the laws of physics and based upon our understanding of technology and science and all these things considered, the conclusion you're going to reach is no, they've never been here, they'll never come here, it will never happen, and we'll never go see them either. Okay? Now, how can I put this diplomatically? I think that's a bit lame, because do you know why? Like, is it possible, right, put aside human pride for a second, is it possible that we don't know all there is to know? Yeah. Do you think that perhaps the so-called laws of physics and the so-called, well, let me put it like this. Do you think that there's aliens out there that would diss us and sort of say, those earthling beings, they're primitive. They use propulsion systems to get from A to B. They travel from A to B in a vehicle. You know, that's like so Stone Age. You know, I think maybe they do. Personally, I believe that if an alien was to get here, that they probably don't travel in the way that we understand travel. If they decided to get here and they were like 50,000 light years away, or whatever, or much further than that even, then like maybe they get here in like a few seconds. What about bending time and space and all this sci-fi stuff that is not science fact, it's science fiction? What if there's a bit more to it than meets the eye? Now, let's not go down the road of eyewitnesses, radars, photographs, crop circles, video footage, and all these things, you know, military accounts and military disclosure of, because that's just far too much information to wade through, and I'm not going to do it in this video, right? Because this video is going to be finished in a second, alright? But just want to kind of get people thinking. I mean, did you know that science once stated, right, that it is impossible for a human being to exceed 30 miles per hour, because if he did, he would suffocate and die. Well, that didn't turn out to be true, did it? Okay. Do you think that people that lived 50 years ago or 100 years ago could have possibly imagined the technology that we have today? I mean, look at the technology we have today. There are people alive on the planet today that in their childhood they would not have imagined the technology. Look how fast it's progressed, and it's amazing. I mean, look at mobile phones, iPods, microwaves. Who'd have thought that they could like heat a meal up from frozen within a minute in a microwave and eat it? You know, it's pretty amazing, isn't it? So do you think that maybe an alien civilization that's maybe been around for a few thousand years longer than we have, that they might have developed the technology to travel intergalactically? I think it's possible. Now let's just go back to the Drake equation for a second. Now Frank Drake, his estimate, and it's perfectly logical, of the number of intelligent life forms in the Milky Way galaxy alone, let's not forget that, is 10,000. Okay. Now this is this is my personal addition to the Drake equation. 1%. Suppose that 1% of the 10,000 civilizations out there made it to Earth. That's like 100. 100. So the entire Drake equation, if you Google it, check it out, have a read of it, look into the whole thing of the Drake equation, all the figures that are plugged into the equation are extremely ungenerous. They're extremely conservative. None of them are exaggerated. Okay, so I'm going to do the same. I'm going to take that 10,000 figure, and let's say that 1%, no, let's say 0.5%. 0.5% is 50, right? 50 civilizations have made it to the Earth. Let's just suppose that the rest of the 950 sorry, 9,500 is late, okay? You know, they were aware of how to travel intergalactically, but we're such a tiny little dot in the galaxy, alright, that they're not even aware of us, that they've not even discovered us, they don't know of our existence, you know? So, it's all very far-fetched, but it's extremely logical, and it's a very interesting topic. So give me your comments, tell me what you think, and I shall talk to you soon. Bye bye for now.